Welcome back to episode 278 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my I don't know what to call Grizz this week, but my man Grizz, and we have a very special guest, as you can see in the we got, what do you want to call like that spot above us? Like what is
right now? It's Hog View, baby. I mean, I don't know what else.
Hog Vision, yeah.
Hog Vision, baby.
Meehan Jr. He is back.
And listen, they only call me the hog because I'm a hog in bed. It's not because I'm a pig.
What?
Because I know how to hog them out.
That's absolutely not
Like
why
a pig
you're the hog.
Pig eating out of a trough, baby.
You literally look like you eat out of a trough. When we used to go like out to McDonald's or something, this kid would eat fucking.
Dude.
This
Anytime
guy.
I ate lunch or dinner with Mike always was just so disgusted. I'd have like something in one hand and something in the other hand, and I'd be eating and eating,
double
like,
fister.
mixing.
Hell yeah,
And he'd be
dude.
like, dude, you're so fucking gross. You're eating like chocolate with the chicken nuggets. Like,
He would have like a bite of this, a bite of that, a bite of this. I would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing right now? I don't even fucking know. But we're back with a movie that Grizz has never seen before fucking somehow. After this one, we're going to have to do Star Wars. That's going to have to...
Oh, dude.
No, we won't do that.
What?
Here. We won't. He's never seen Star Wars. Can you believe that? I don't even know how people haven't seen that on accident.
are you kidding me?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
But we are back, and let's hit that intro so we can get into this fucking movie.
The hog.
Blade sucks, Jared Cahill. Come on, man.
My
Really?
man.
I do not know how people don't like this fucking movie. This is peak late 90s cinema at a time where The Matrix was blowing people's minds. I know, Jerry, you're a fan of The Matrix, right? No, really?
Yeah, good man.
I like him, but I'm not gonna like, you know.
Really?
I'm just happy to see that there's somebody in the chat that fucking already is like on a Blade sucks fucking, fucking streak, man. Cause like it's what I've come to notice. I put up a poll on the Instagram to see if this movie in fact sucks or not. And general fucking consensus is that it's a good movie. And I'm just here to tell you people that you're fucking crazy. Anybody that voted no on the Instagram, you got a solid state of mind. You're of well health. You're a good fucking person. So like, don't let these people voting yes,
Dude,
deter you.
This is just a fun late 90s action horror film. There's blood, there's gore, there's goo, there's fucking Wesley Snipes looking fucking super roided up, cool as hell.
You told, dude, you're fucking so full of shit, dude. You told me like going into this, you're like, bro, you're gonna fucking love this movie. Like, what? Why would you think that I would love this movie? You know that I fucking hate The Matrix. You know that I don't watch action movies. Like, this is like, dude, I said this is like a black John Wick with vampires. That's what this fucking movie is. It's wild as fuck, man.
Well, I thought maybe you would like it just because of how like ridiculous it is and how like fucking like jacked up Wesley Snipes is. Like it's a total like caricature of all those
You
like
Jack
action
Men,
stars.
you got me
Like,
there.
dude, he looks cool as fuck in this movie. All the shit he does is fucking like Snipes' best movie was King of New York. I don't know, man. New Jack City was fucking pretty sweet, but I think in this movie,
I liked him in Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, bro, you nailed it, dude. Man, that's probably
nobody's gonna say
That was
Major
his
League.
best role, man.
Nobody is gonna say maybe
sleeper role.
Grave Spitter, maybe Chaz, but I think he's totally like, this is what I always thought Blade could be. This is it. Like, because if you ever read the comic books, pre the movie, it wasn't exactly what we have here. He made him like a fucking cool character. I feel like he could actually do things, take care of fucking villains and shit. He's like the Punisher. You know what I mean? He's like an undead Punisher type fucking. Well, he's not undead really, but
like, if I had to take 90s, fucking comic book movies, which I think are probably better comic book movies than anything we have. I fucking hate comic book movies also, though. So, like, this was another strike against this fucking thing. But I will say, like, of this time period, like, what do you guys think of that, like, Spawn movie? Because I fucking love that.
I saw that in
movie.
theaters. I saw that in theaters.
And I loved
it's fucking
John
awesome.
Leguizamo as the clown.
Hell yeah, one of the best roles ever. Dude.
I tried. My wife lived under a rock in the 90s, and I tried showing her like everything, like all the 90s movies that she missed. And so we tried watching Spawn, and I'm telling you, like 2 minutes into the movie, she made me shut it off because they're like going into hell, and like this the CGI is so bad. She's like, I don't want to watch this. She said the same thing about Batman Forever, like that opening scene where it's like flying through and it's all just CGI and like they're robbing the bank. She's like, just shut it off. I don't want to watch this. I don't know.
Great
why.
movie.
That's part of the allure of it. Oh, maybe The Fan with De Niro. The Fan was an awesome movie. You guys ever see that one?
I'm not familiar.
No, where his son gets fucking kidnapped and like the whole like showdown at the end is like Wesley Snipes plays like a fucking baseball player and shit. Like it's cool. It's a good movie.
So what do you think about of Wesley here? Rumor has it this dude was a fucking pain in the ass to deal with on set, dude. Legitimately, like, you gotta fucking call me Blade. Like, wouldn't break fucking character.
Well, here's the thing:
Are you
gonna be the dude to tell this guy at this point? Like, no, because he's like a big dude, man. He's like not, he's like. How
tall is Wesley? Is he a motherfucking?
Oh, I don't know his height. I don't know his height, but like he's like fucking jacked up and stuff. He's Wesley Snipes.
Oh, so he's not, dude.
Well, but look how fucking like jacked he is in this. He's a big guy, man.
5'10". That's a lie.
That's definitely a lie. But
he's wearing big boots in this movie though too. So he's giving him a bigger appearance.
But I like him as the Blade character. He's believable as like an action guy, like the karate shit and all that stuff. Like, I think he's, it doesn't look ridiculous. So I guess maybe that's why he thought he could kind of like do whatever he wanted to do. Like, oh no,
he was a method actor, man. He was in it. He was
method actor.
You want the Demolition Man or you want the Blade? Yeah, man.
But I heard that, like, what was it, the second one or the third one or whatever, where like he wouldn't come back for the reshoot of something, so they had to like CGI his eye like open.
That's what fucking Viano was saying.
Is that what he's
too?
saying?
Yeah, like,
Viano. Yeah, that was. But they had to do that with what's his name too in Man of Steel, right? They had a
CGI'd his mustache.
The mustache, yeah, because he was doing the Mission Impossible movie. And he couldn't shave the mustache.
He couldn't shave it. He was contracted to have that mustache.
But you could tell, like, if you, fucking weird. Jerry, can you give a synopsis of Blade? You think you could do that?
From what I remember, Blade is about a half human, half vampire dude who is like a Batman vigilante that goes and kills vampires, and his mom was
a bitch.
Well, yes, but she was bit by the vampire, right? And then then she gives birth to him, and then he's got like an old white man friend that like helps him.
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson. What's his name in the movie? I forget.
Whistler.
Yeah, Whistler.
Whistler, yeah. And so that dude
Whistler
like
and
helps
Dixie.
him out. Yeah, and then and so they just go killing vampires. And then I think this one, I always get them so confused because I remember the one of them was like he had to team up with the vampires from this one.
That's
and
the
I don't.
second
I
one.
think that's
The second one is the
right?
one where they have to go
Like
fight.
Dracula shows up or something.
That's the third one. The third one is with
That's the
Triple
third
H
one.
with Dracula.
Right,
the
right.
second one is the one where they have to fight the like the hybrid vampires.
The hybrid vampires
With,
that
the
are going
dude
to
from
like
Sons
wipe
of
out
Anarchy,
vampires.
Hellboy.
This
Yeah.
is
Isn't
the
that one?
one that has the fucking dad from Grounded for Life in it. That's the one
Yes.
that this one is.
Dude, it's
That's
so
the
funny.
first thing that I fucking
It's so
recognize.
funny when like when I like sent Grizz a screenshot of like Grounded for Life, and he's like, "Oh, dude, like I just like I just went through that again. Like that show's awesome." I'm like, I did
still
not
holds
even
up.
expect you to know what that show fucking was.
Dude,
Never
I
mind
had the
be a
biggest
fan.
crush when I was a teenager. I watched that show, and that's probably why I'm into redheads now. There were so many redhead influences on me, and she
Hey,
was
baby,
definitely
what's
one
up?
of them.
That's so
What's up?
fucking
That's
funny.
why I'm like, dude, I'm so happy to have the hog here.
Oh, yes. Grounded for Life. I remember this show. And his brother was the brother
Like a
from
weird guy,
Goodfellas that was in the
yeah,
wheelchair.
Yes,
That's what he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Pick him up
yeah.
And he's like, keep stirring the sauce. Yeah, that guy.
That's
And
him.
he gets to the
Yeah.
hospital and the guy's like, man, you look fucked up. Is everything all right? Yeah. I
Yeah,
gotta
so-
get my hat. Yeah,
I love him in
forgot about
Pineapple
this
Express
show.
too. He's like the one fucking. He's like the one with Craig Robinson. They're like the two fucking like flunky bad guys. It's the best.
Yeah.
And and this is the dad, and his dad is from Office Space, the jump to conclusions Matt guy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah. That
backs out
gets
of
hit by the
driveway,
fucking
he's gonna
car.
kill himself with the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
truck. Yeah. Dude, man, the '90s was such a good time. For
Yeah,
all
that show
that
kicked
happened.
ass too.
But that's
It was
why
awesome.
Blade is so good, because Blade was one of those like, my uncle just got divorced. He's living in a fucking garage
Just bought
apartment
a Harley.
in Deer Park. He just bought a Harley. He's got my cousin for the weekend, so I'm staying over. He rented this from Blockbuster, and he doesn't care that it's rated R. And like I'm sitting there, and when did Blade come out? 98, 99?
Yeah. This is
Like one of them, and I'm like 8 or 9 years old, and like
This is
the opening
98.
scene is like a fucking blood techno, and they're all just sucking each other.
Yeah, you know what's
You know,
what's
like it was awesome.
all right. So we have a clip of the that
Yeah, let's
opening
just actually
scene.
show that.
Yeah, we have a clip of it. But one thing I didn't realize until just kind of like going through the IMDb of this, Tracy Lords is the girl in the beginning that brings
Oh,
the
yeah.
dude
That's
into the
first
fucking.
thing I noticed about it.
I was like, wait a second.
Who's Tracy Lords?
Yeah, give that a Google. Give that.
Yeah, give that a Google, Jerry. But here's the vampire rave scene. It's a little compressed here, but it's okay. We're doing what we can. This is also going to be the episode that we get the most copyright strikes. Maybe we'll see. But
This is fair use, baby. Fair use.
this guy is brought into this rave, and he's the only human amongst all these vampires, and they have blood being pumped down from the fire system, like the water, where the water would be. It's actually blood. And they're fucking swarming this dude. And this is actually where we get our introduction to Blade, because he's the one that comes in and saves this dude's life. And I really do think this is like an awesome way to open a movie. Right? Like it shows you what it is. You get the fucking good guy that beats the fuck out of everybody. You see that there's like a ton of vampires. It's not just like one or two. It's a whole, it's sophisticated enough of a network where they're having like vampire only raves in these secret fucking places and shit. Like you see that
This is like fucking.
They're on Craigslist V for V. Like, yeah, they got it all.
This is like fucking like Bad Boys with vampires. It's like the exact same time period.
I've
as
never
that
seen.
movie.
I've actually never seen Bad Boys. Is it good?
Dude, what's fucking wrong with you?
Is it good?
Every time I come on this podcast, he hates every fucking movie we watch on the episodes that come on.
All right,
But
wait.
then he's never seen it, or you've never seen it, or you've never seen something, and I'm always just so fucking blown away. Mike, you've never seen Bad Boys?
No.
It is
All
a
right,
great
wait.
movie. It is a
Here
great
we go.
fucking movie.
Here we go.
Peak
No,
Martin
wait.
Lawrence and Will
No,
Smith.
no.
man.
Wait. Here, I'm gonna ask you, what's better, Bad Boys or Rush Hour?
Rush Hour. right?
I like
Oh,
Bad Boys.
okay.
Really, I love Rush Hour.
Oh, goddamn.
Like-
Actually, you know what? I will say Bad Boys is better than Rush Hour, but I think I like Rush Hour 2 more than I like Rush Hour 1. So
There we go. All right, so I guess I got to go watch
They're
it.
both good.
I have a feeling I'm going to watch the movie and be like, I've seen this.
I'm sure you have.
You have
100% sure you have.
It sounds like it seems, well, not sounds, but it seems like a movie that FX would have had on like every Sunday afternoon.
yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't know what you're talking about. It's not Rush Hour. Get the hell out of here. dude.
Yeah, so I think this is a really,
Michael Bay made it.
really? So
Yeah,
it's
Big
like,
Michael
explosions,
Bay
bro. You'll
movie.
love it.
oh
You
man,
like action
I'm totally
bullshit.
in. Yeah, I'm totally fucking in. So like, what do you guys think of this being the introduction to Blade in the movie? Like he just all of a sudden starts beating the fuck out of all these vampires. Do you think this sort of shit is corny? Like where you have this guy that's like so overpowered compared to everybody else. Do you think it's cool? I personally think it's fucking awesome.
like
What do you
it.
guys? You're a fan? You're a fan?
I'm a fan. I
Grizz?
think Adam hates it.
I don't hate it. No, like I don't fucking hate it. Like I just. All right, so like I made like the John Wick comparison. Like this is where I ultimately came to that conclusion was this opening scene because it's like shot the same way
Yeah,
that a
him
lot of
fighting
that
his
shit
way
is.
through the
And
club.
dude, I hate those fucking movies. Like I just don't care about like bang bang shoot 'em up fucking like action movies, and that's kind of like what this opening scene is, just with like other weapons and shit. It's cool because there's vampires. There's elements of the movie that I like, and this opening scene was badass. All the blood. I was like, this is like a fucking Slayer music video. This is gonna be cool as fuck. But like ultimately, I just the action stuff is just dragged out so long.
It's not your
and I
thing
get
also,
it.
yeah.
People love that shit. Why would they not
Yeah.
drag it out? I
Yeah.
understand that.
What do you
but-
think about like the whole I guess like the cosmetic, the look of Blade? Like you think it's like a solid thing? You think it's like fucking cool?
Very Twilight,
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it's a little
I-
powdery for me,
Yeah, I feel like Wesley Snipes himself is like just fucking
Oh,
Blade.
yeah.
Like whenever I think of Blade, that's
Just
what I
Blade.
think of. I just picture Wesley Snipes. And but like the actual bad guy vampires, like I can see where you're coming from because was it 2 or is it 3? Like where the dude has maybe it is 1. Like I don't remember who the
What's
main
this dude's
villain
name?
was.
Frosty? Is that his name?
Deacon
I think
Frost?
his name is Frosty, and he's
Yeah.
just
Deacon
he
Frost.
has that kind of like pale complexion. Obviously, he's a vampire, but he's like a pretty boy.
Yeah,
Like I can
something
see where
milky.
you're getting that Twilight from, but like I feel like vampires are kind of
That way.
Yeah.
you know where I'm going. They're kind of like Metro, like back in the day that was kind of like that like vibe,
Yeah, but-
and I feel like
I don't think they go. I think they're just going for
The
like.
makeup.
I think they're just going for like the rave scene looking, Hot
Right,
Topic
right.
kid look. Like, dude, I had friends that
Yeah.
looked like all these fucking people. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, for sure.
Cool friends, Mike. Jeez.
You see, it's just two
Oh,
guys
yeah,
that look
man.
like Blade. That's it. Just
I had all friends. Yeah, all my friends look like Blade, and they were always hanging out with my mom. My dad was at work, and all these guys would come over that looked like Blade. I don't know what was going on. There was a lot of screaming.
Oh, that's great.
man.
one thing that I really do find
Sorry,
funny about this fucking movie is the fact that the woman that gets bit in the hospital, she happens to be like a hematologist. I think that's like, oh, what a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
need like a
Oh,
blood
what a
serum.
twist.
But
Yeah.
but that scene in the hospital is fucking awesome because the dude from fucking Grounded for Life has just
Burnt
been
the fuck up.
he was burnt the fuck up by Blade. They have him like in the morgue. They're doing an autopsy on him. He wakes the fuck up, bites the one fucking what's it called, medical examiner. Then he fucks that dude up, and then he bites the woman. But Blade
But
comes
no.
in.
Dude,
to-
the best part about this scene though is like this snippet of dialogue that Blade has when the cops fucking shoot him. This is the best part of this
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So-
And I
was
actually-
wasn't he like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Here we go.
I actually that just came up the other day before you even asked me to come on, and I saw that and I was like, "This was great." I mean, what else do you want? Like, you know?
So here he is. He chops his arm off. Cop starts shooting at Blade.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I think this is the best part of the scene. When this dude jumps out the fucking hospital window, he lands
yeah,
on
that's
top
great.
of an ambulance. He goes through inside the ambulance, and he just starts like he's got like white eyes. He's like kind of ravenous
He's
looking. He's all
crispy, man.
crispy.
Yeah.
And there's just like a woman in there screaming. Like imagine being in the fucking ambulance and this
Having
thing
a
just
stroke.
flies through the fucking ceiling. Like,
Okay. So what I'm gonna say is like I curated all the clips for this week, and if this movie was just like based on the clips that I pulled, the movie would be fucking awesome. Because I didn't pull any of like the extended fighting bullshit. I pulled like what would be a pretty gnarly, with some heavy CGI, like vampire movie in all regards. With like, because I love that scene. That's right. Like that's probably one of the cooler scenes in the movie, in my opinion. But like, there's so many cool elements of the movie. It's just I'm so burnt out on the like, and then like fucking, you know, just like
You need
sword
more.
fighting for 20
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
dude.
you had to wait another like
funny-
3 years for the Freddy versus Jason soundtrack era to start. You
That's
know?
what needed to hit.
It's funny that you were mentioning that. It's like, oh, it's like a Matrix. The Matrix came out after Blade. Blade is 98, and I think the Matrix is 99 or 2000, one of them. So maybe, maybe those dudes or the Wachowskis made.
Didn't you tell me like what's his name was supposed to play Blade before?
They apparently wanted Lawrence Fishburne to play Blade. Like I think he was either offered it or he was considered for it, and then like it ended up not
I
working
don't
out.
know.
But I mean,
I don't
like
think so.
I don't see anybody but fucking Wesley Snipes. So I don't know how they're gonna do all these new ones and the remake and the reboot
Well,
that they're working on.
The new one is what's his name? Something, I forget how you say his name, but if you like look at him, somebody like mocked it up or some shit, and it looks kind of like a
Yeah, but dude,
skinnier Wesley
He looks
Snipes,
like
but-
he looks like Blade off the gear though. You know, it looks
yeah,
like he's
it's
no
true,
longer.
yeah. It's like
just-
you went to Chinatown and like somebody's selling you like a bootleg.
Like, Mom, I want
But,
Blade. You got Blade.
It's
at
rated
home.
R. It's gonna be a hard R.
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
so.
That's Blade at home for sure, dude.
I don't know, man. I
We
feel
got
like
Blade at
just
home.
the whole like the aura that like Wesley Snipes puts off in this fucking movie, and in, like really any of these Blade movies. Chris Pratt as Blade?
No.
Get out of here! Is that what?
No,
No
it's-
way.
I think it's just like, when like a movie comes out and like the actor or actress is like somebody represent whatever it is, and you're just like, yes, like you know what I mean? Like they got
Yeah.
that right. Like
Yeah.
Good casting goes a long way, and I will say that like I don't think anybody else could have been Blade. Like
No.
I didn't know the fucking comic book beforehand. Even like to this day, I didn't know the fucking comic book.
I didn't
but, like-
I didn't know nothing until I
Yeah.
watched.
But
That
like,
movie.
I can't imagine anybody else being this ridiculous of a character, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's so over the top.
He was like the Dennis Rodman, I feel like, of the
Yo, that's a great
world.
comparison.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's a great comparison.
I always think of Rodman and then fucking Wesley Snipes as like two just wacko guys that like I could see Rodman being like fucking Blade.
They might be buddies.
yeah, that's a great call too.
What do they call him?
what do you-
Fucking weasel or something?
The worm.
The worm, yeah, the worm, the weasel, the worm.
So, what do you think about the whole thing where they have like Blade getting these like fucking injections throughout the movie, trying to keep him less
So
ravenous?
this is like a
I
serum,
guess.
right? That like, because like otherwise he's gonna like fucking be blood hungry and like 'cause he's half
Eventually,
fucking
like-
vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
So like this keeps him from having to fucking drink real blood, and it gives him this fucking hot load in the neck, and he just
Yeah, we have a
this is a
clip of
weird
this.
scene, dude.
Yeah, we have a clip of this. I don't know, man. I think I might rather just become like ravenous after like
Yeah, man,
watching this shit. Don't look pleasant at all.
He's getting shut up with better than bouillon.
So that's Chris Christopherson injecting Blade with what we're
mean,
guessing
look-
is
Look
vampire
at this
steroids.
scene. Look at this guy, like this fucking
Yeah,
Chris
look at him.
Christopherson guy. Like this is just pure.
Look, they're holding
late
hands.
90s.
Look at him
Oh,
like
he's
fucking flexing. Look how jacked.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
same guy
He
that's
is.
working on my truck right now, to be honest. with you.
Chris Christopherson is moonlighting up in Western New York.
Yeah. Looked up.
So like this is like one of the subplots is that this woman that got bit by the fucking crispy vampire in the beginning, she's gonna help them create a serum to hopefully like, I guess, turn Blade human again, right? This would actually cure him because apparently this serum that she is figuring out will be able to cure people who were human and then turned into vampires. If you were born a vampire, you're fucked.
Yeah, because there's like this whole like fucking Harry Potter thing going on in this fucking movie too. You know, where there's like these vampires who are purebloods, and then there's these, fucking Muggle vampires
Like
that
racist vampires.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude.
Proud Boy
Weird.
vampires.
Well,
Strange.
there's like a whole thing like where there's kind of a split between the bad guys where the guy Deacon Frost, he was turned into a vampire, so he's looked down upon by the other the heads of the vampire table. And there's the one main dude who like truly just fucking hates his guts and kind of bites him in the ass in a pretty cool scene, actually. That's one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when I guess he was the head vampire, ends up getting taken out by Deacon Frost and his cronies. And they do it in a pretty cool way, right?
Even if Dickhead Frost wasn't a fucking vampire, like he has such a hateable face and like look to him that like
it's annoying.
I would not
Punchable.
like that guy, dude. He's just not a fun person, bro. So
Definitely.
like I get their beef. I got it too, just watching them.
But what they end up doing is they bring this head vampire to the beach, and they all have like full motorcycle gear on, like full motorcycle leathers and shit, so they're not exposed to the sun. But they have this dude out there just, in his normal clothes, and it's about to be sunrise. And the sun comes up, and this dude...
They just cut his teeth out, too. That was a cool fucking
Oh,
part.
yeah. But look at the scene, like him like fucking ripping apart. And he eventually turns into like a dust, right? Look, that's pretty brutal,
This is
man.
probably the cool. Yeah, this is probably one of the coolest. I wish all the CGI was as good as that scene in this movie. I hate the way people or the vampires, I hate the way they die in this movie.
It's very,
That, like,
very...
Ashy pixie dust fucking
not
flamey
into
bullshit,
that.
dude, looks fucking
Yeah.
horrible.
I like the
will.
darkness, like you turn into goo and just kind of turn into like bone and goo. That's a pretty cool way. But I think this is actually a pretty like unique thing, right? Like it's a pretty cool shot. There's a couple cool shots. There's another one that we're gonna show later on, but like
Give me
it's,
Highlander vibes for some reason. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
got that fucking like look to it. It's fucking weird.
I just like the whole thing where it's like, yeah, these vampires are out there because they're in like full motorcycle leathers. So like you're not exposed to the sun. They have helmets on and shit too.
Which makes no sense. 'cause,
Absolutely no
like,
sense at all.
still fucking like.
Well, they
going
just
through
have.
the clothes.
Well, no, it's leather, so like it's not being the UV is not
I
penetrating.
saw their fucking wrist through the there's flaws to
Well,
that fucking logic.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, there's a little bit of that, and that's okay.
Aren't they, like,
That's called
baking in
well,
there?
it's
Like, 'cause they
it's covered.
screw 'em up, or is it-
It's they're covered in plot armor. All right, man, relax.
Yeah, but like, how come you can go outside in the sun, but these motherfuckers can't?
I
You
do
explain
like
that?
I do like the idea of Blade, where like he's got all the good shit of the vampire, not really any of the bad stuff. Well, kind of at the moment.
he can like rejuvenate and fucking shit. He's got like superhuman strength, right? Like
But
he's got like
yeah, but he ages like a human. He ages normally. It's like a pretty
It's
cool.
fine. I mean, what's
I-
he alive? Like,
Well, I think it's like a better idea than
Seriously.
fucking like Morbius. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's like another vampire.
that's another
superhero.
Marvel vampire. That
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's like a cooler idea than that. I don't know. I think this whole movie actually is was it 1998? Like
Yeah.
seeing this when it first came out, it was like, oh shit. Like this is pretty.
Well, the
it's
CGI
pretty
was
fucking
probably a lot
wild.
more forgivable then too, as far as like the dead bodies and stuff like that. Just looking at it now, I'm just like, they could have went a different direction. But there's some cool CGI deaths in this one, like where the dude gets the juice in the head, man. Like that shit's pretty wild. Like he's fighting the fucking guy.
Oh yeah. He like hits him with the fucking with that serum, right? 'cause-
yeah, I like that.
What is it?
That's
Is it that if like you're a fucking pure blood vampire, it makes you explode?
Yeah,
Right.
which is probably the best concept of this movie.
This is Blade, aka Wesley Snipes, beating the fuck out of all these vampires, stabbing them with
This
these
fucking Norwegian guy goes at him.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
stabbing them with these syringes filled with vampire,
Fentanyl now.
yeah, like vampire anti-venom, but they
Look
they
at
like
that.
blow
Oh.
up.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
Like big.
That looks horrible.
Ugh.
That
I
looks
know,
cool.
right?
Blood looks good. That looks good.
I'll take it. I'll take that.
So like both the vampires end up exploding in this bloody mess, which is pretty cool because then like you're always wondering, well, when like the cops eventually come, like, are they gonna believe me because there's nothing here, or is there gonna just be like corpses everywhere? Like they all returned to human form and just turned into a dead body where you just look like
so like that's where I thought this whole thing was kind of going in the beginning, where like we had that club scene with all the vampires. There's like a dude who's like not a vampire who's like in that club and he's like, fuck me, there's vampires everywhere, and he's freaking out, and then Blade shows up and kicks a bunch of ass. But like at the end of it, that dude's still alive, and that motherfucker is like sitting there on fire against the wall, and the cops come in, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna blame this dude for fucking like this dude on fire. Yeah, I was like, oh, I can see where this movie's going.
Well, the
but it
cops,
didn't go there at all.
the cops are apparently after Blade because that's like a thing in the later movies, isn't it? Like where they're like they try to set Blade up and stuff.
Yeah.
They have him kill a familiar who's human.
I will
and all that
never
shit.
know after watching this.
I think it was like Blade 2, maybe that.
No,
was
I think
what
that
it
was
There's-
was that
Was it
3?
three?
Yeah, the one with the girl and Triple H, where they have like that
Yeah.
fucking cabal with fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
You got to watch that one
Yeah.
for only like 10 minutes, just so you can see Triple H as a vampire.
Triple H.
Yeah, because it's like peak Triple H.
I wish
like-
Gangrel was in this movie. It'd make it a lot better.
That
would
would be
make
pretty.
sense.
That would
Yeah.
be pretty sick.
Edge.
Yeah, it's like it's not. Imagine they actually. This would have been like kind of close to that time, right?
It is that
Oh,
time.
98, dude.
Was it 98 though?
Attitude
Yeah.
Era, yeah, but that was definitely.
Was the Brood around in 98?
Well, it had to be 97, 98 because like Attitude didn't even kick off till like mid 96.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
You guys
had to
got
be
me.
around that.
Whatever. I only watch Japanese deathmatch wrestling.
My bad.
Sorry.
So
I will say that one thing that I feel like, because Adam, I know you say you don't give a shit about like comic book movies now. This is so different from what we have now. Like
Oh,
now it's
100%.
like paint by numbers.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
garbage.
enjoy them, but they're nothing compared to like what Blade was. And funny enough, Blade is the first like real Marvel movie before X-Men. X-Men was 2000. Spider-Man's
It was
like
Spider-Man. Yeah,
yeah,
same time.
like this is pre all of that, and that's like the first thing that you got as like a comic book movie, which I thought was nuts. That, like because at that time, I think Marvel sold everything to all of these studios because they were fucking bankrupt, and so
Yo, how-
they just kind of took it and made it. It was like we're just gonna do whatever.
How
we want.
pissed do you think like Wesley Snipes was that like Black Panther actually finally got fucking made after he tried to make that movie like most of the fucking
Wait,
90s
really?
and get yeah, dude.
Oh,
He
I
like
didn't know that.
he campaigned so hard to make that fucking series happen and like never got off the ground.
I heard
And that's when he finally he was working on that before Blade and then was like, all right, I'll fucking do Blade then. Cool.
hey
so,
man, he
but-
owned this shit. He made this fucking. He made this a sick movie, bro. What do you think about?
Speaking of sick, I
I
like
was
Tub
gonna-
Girl, dude.
I was just gonna say
fucking
this is
thing.
actually a guy. This
I
is
know
actually
it
a
is,
dude.
but I mean, I'm trying
But,
to paint a picture here.
Blade is currently going around. Blade is going around interrogating all these vampires, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on because Deacon Frost is gonna apparently try to raise a vampire god, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that's like a Dragon Ball Z type thing, like a Super Saiyan god, but and he goes to this place, and this person is supposed to be, what do they call him? Like the librarian of some sort or some shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And Jerry, when we describe what this person looks like before we play the clip.
Picture like the fattest person that you've ever like seen, but like yellow and just looks like they're covered in
Yellow.
Dorito chips and
Picture
they stink.
picture
And
a
they have like
human
their neck is bloated and like picture me naked.
a human Jabba the Hutt. right?
Yeah, human Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
Or vampire Jabba the Hutt.
Crazy little voice like this, Blade, you fat asshole. I was watching TV.
Like,
It's like-
Oprah would have definitely like got a crane for this person in the fucking 90s to have her
Yeah,
on her
this-
fucking show. Like
this
that,
was a
that's what would
crane.
have
Cut
happened.
the side of
this
the
was a
house
crane
open.
Situation.
It's pretty cool though because how they're interrogating him. It's pretty interesting. They just have a UV light and they're just like shining the UV light on him.
They
It's like
keep,
burning the
torturing him because he
Yeah,
can't move.
yeah. So this is
Well, my dad would burn cigarettes on my leg.
That's how it smells. It's routine research.
Oh,
so
man.
Blade is figuring out
Video game.
the plans of resurrecting this god. As he's just casually burning this fucking vampire like
It kind of makes
goo
me hungry
man.
because it sounds like bacon cooking a little bit. I'm just like,
Does.
oh, yeah.
Piece of fragment. A piece of the property.
See, so if you just have like a black light next to your bed, if you ever get attacked by a vampire, you just pull that shit out.
Blasting. That's
then
why you
it's
have them, bro. I
It's
get
just
it
Yeah.
now.
cum stained everywhere. Yeah, there's cum stains and then the vampire.
She's
Now, let me
blasting him
ask
with the
you
fucking
something.
floodlight. What?
If you like met up with a chick, right? And like we're talking like it's a Tinder date or something, and you walked in and got catfished, and like you drove like an hour because you thought
I drove an hour. Oh
I
shit!
drove an
dude.
hour. Like I mean, like,
Dude.
I'm not driving 10 minutes. And then
Yeah,
doing that.
God damn.
If you walked in and she was just like, "Hey, pick him off," would you do it? I mean, you wasted gas. If she was like,
An hour.
I touched it 20 feet gas, and we're talking like, I don't know, 2009 when gas wasn't. You know, like a 20's gonna get you a full
Scenario
tank.
builds
20's gonna
builds.
get you a full tank of gas and a thing of Taco Bell. Like you have leftover money. Like, just take them off and go for it. Would
Yo,
you do it? I mean, you drove an hour.
I was just thinking about this concept because, like, I was thinking about that fucking movie Deuce Bigelow, and I was like,
Yes.
they could never make fucking movies like that now. Like,
you
it
can't,
is
you
such a fucking
That's a
wild. Yeah, that's a big bitch. That's like I say
Holy
that
shit,
shit all the
it's
time.
Yeah. I say that all the time.
Dude, it's so funny. All right, that guy though, what a fucking creep. That's a weird
creep.
fucking scene.
I do like that he ends up like they end up killing him, but they find like the vampire Bible they call it, right? And then like the vampire cronies come in and just start shooting the place up. Like they don't give a fuck. It's like this is like your holy like scriptures and all that shit. They just start fucking letting off rounds in there, trying to hit Blade, which the bullets don't do anything to him anyway. Right? Like it's not
Silly motherfucker. You remember
Yeah.
that whole thing? You know, you don't care.
I love that shit though. It's fucking funny as hell. But we were saying before that it's kind of like the Matrix, and we have a clip here where it's pretty much an identical scene from the Matrix, right? When Neo
Well-
goes in to save Morpheus, right? He has that whole like fucking shootout in the lobby, and in this one, Blade goes into this fucking place and does the same exact thing, but you know, Blade came out first. But
Came out first.
you know, were they made at the same, you know, when were they made and all that shit? It's like a
I do know.
Phantasm Star Wars thing with the Jawas, like they were made at the same time. It just so happened to be, you know, a
The look of the
coincidence.
time, man.
Yeah. But this is actually a pretty fucking awesome scene. This is Blade just mowing people down. The Blade tricks, God's
Yeah, look, there he is. That's the dude.
He rides his fucking his KLR 650 through the fucking.
This motherfucker thinks he's Arnold Schwarzenegger in this scene. Like, that is, he's just invoking that Terminator vibe.
He does. With the hands out.
100%.
Leather
He's like, oh, I
jacket.
got this. I've seen this before. I know what to do.
Do you think
The
Blade?
shotgun shit out right here, too. Classic Terminator.
Do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
the Blade could kill
And
the
he did a
Terminator?
trench coat. And
Oh,
like a leather jacket.
it's just so cliche.
Dude, could
Sunglasses,
Blade
yeah.
could Blade kill the Terminator?
No. You fucking
No.
kidding me, dude?
You have to
No.
melt the Terminator.
Dude, if Sarah Connor
Yeah.
could do it in the first one and she wasn't even like trained, you don't think fucking Blade could kill this fucking thing?
Yeah, but he like kind of fell into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he
he didn't
helped.
really do anything.
She like
Yeah.
tricked him.
He
You don't
just
think
fucking
you don't
tricked
think
him.
died,
Blade?
dude.
You don't think Blade has like a magnesium round of some sort where he just fucking unloads on that thing and just melts it?
You know, speaking of like what Blade has, a cool scene in my opinion was him like in the fucking lab in his little
Oh, he's
fucking
cooking?
chemistry set,
Yeah, him
fucking
cooking.
doing his fucking business, dude, loading
This-
up for the fight.
Dude,
I like this shit.
the only thing, I feel like the soundtrack could be a lot better to this. I feel like the music that they use for some of these scenes, like it's
So
not,
generic.
yeah, like this scene, like we're gonna show now. I feel like it should be like hyping you up more.
Yeah.
It's like all like serious sounding, like, but he's like pouring the silver into the fucking, the bullet casing mold. Yeah,
Doesn't
he's
even look. He's so good at it.
dude. One thing I want to know is how did they pay for all this shit? This guy's got a pot full of silver. He's got this huge ass warehouse. The electricity alone is probably fucking nuts.
Oh yeah.
He was probably like a gigolo on the side.
Oh, I do like that. They kind of explain it because in the one scene he like beats the shit out of that vampire cop and then robs him. And that
he
chick's like,
steals the money.
"You're gonna fucking rob him too?" And he's like, "How else do you think we fucking pay for this shit?"
Yeah,
I was
true.
like,
True, yeah, he's
I was
stealing from
that's
the
pretty cool.
vampires.
I was like, I fuck with that.
Yeah, I do like that though. That like they have this whole workshop and everything, and they're making all these high tech,
Yeah.
cool weapons, and it's a modernized version of like a Van Helsing type guy that he has all this shit that he's going to use against the vampires. He gives like a rundown at one point where he's like, "This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is real. This is real. This is real."
I think like when you say that, it kind of makes me feel like the Christopherson character is supposed to be that like Van Helsing
Like the OG.
cliche.
Yeah.
Because even when he comes into that one scene and saves Blade before his ass gets blown up and he's miraculously okay, he fucking like comes in with like the duster and the fucking, he looks
Yeah.
like a fucking, old timey fucking vampire killer.
Well, he's the OG Blade, man. That's like there's that scene where he like explains his backstory, where like a drifter came one day and fucking he
I
like,
think
he kills the
was saving
family.
his mom, right? Yeah,
No,
right.
well, like
Wasn't
he kills the family, and he's the only one left alive. And after that, like he went and like he started killing vampires, and he found Blade like on the street when he was like a teenager or like a kid or whatever. And he thought he was a regular vampire, and he
Blade,
realized
white man
he was
can't
something
jump,
different.
and he-
Well, he says that he found him feeding on bums. He was sucking the blood out of homeless people. It's like,
Well, that's
damn,
where he
that's
got
fucking.
his money from, man. He was giving Chloe's.
But
The streets a hard life, brother.
But I
It
do
is.
like the take. I do like the take on like the vampire hunter in this, where he's like super offensive. You know what I mean? Where it's not like, oh, I hope we don't get attacked by the vampires tonight. He's like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm walking into this fucking club. I don't give a shit. Like, there's nobody here that's gonna fucking take me down.
I just feel like in what Adam's point was, how like kind of shitty, like the way they just turned into dust. It was like, yo, you could have just hit him with anything, and they just, and so
Yeah, it was
I-
pretty much anything too. It felt
yeah,
like.
so in this like kind of universe, it's just kind of like the vampires are kind of like pussies, Like I'm gonna walk into a club and like
They
just
are-
light up the place.
They are pretty
Oh,
easily defeated. That's one thing I gotta say.
Like, what you really wouldn't sit there and be like cowering, like, oh no, they're coming tonight. It's like, no, he just fucking rode in.
There was
on a
only
hog
like
and
a
lit
select
up.
few, right?
Yeah.
There's only like a select few that could like regenerate and fucking like, because the fucking grounded for life guy, he gets fucking burnt to a crisp,
Oh, he
packed
looked
up and
like-
shit. And he
Looked like
keeps coming
chicken
back
legs
for
my
more.
dad made, yeah.
But I do like his death is a fun scene where he fucking chops the old fucking melon off.
Yeah, this is towards the end when Blade is finally confronting Deacon Frost and everything, and this is where our grounded for life dad finally meets his demise permanently, I should say, right? But he also beats the fuck out of a bunch of other people.
I owe you, man. I got 2 new hands, Blade. I don't know which one to use to kill you with.
He's just like the garrote wire.
Oh, check it out.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's got his sunglasses.
Oh, shit, now you know it's on.
Yeah, look at this
In the
shit.
trailer.
Yeah, it's 100% trailer.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine having to stand on the other side of the room of this motherfucker while he's got a samurai sword, like a fucking katana in his hand, swinging that shit. Imagine that now if it was real. That would be even more terrifying. It's like, Jesus Christ, wouldn't you run too if you were a vampire? If that motherfucker's standing over there wearing his Oakleys?
I did kind of like the fucking he had like the weird like I don't know. It was kind of felt like Cenobite-ish fucking basement thing with the fucking they locked Blade's ass up in there and cut his wrist, and
Yeah,
like he
draining
was
his
like
blood.
blood into this fucking ancient system they built to raise the blood god and shit. That part was really cool. But then they had like all those CGI fucking like bat demon things come out of all those
Yeah,
other
those bat
vampires. I
skeletons.
was like,
Yeah.
what the
They look-
fuck is this?
They look like the things you buy at Walmart for like your fucking
Yeah,
like during Halloween, where like they have like animals that don't even have skeletons for some reason. They still like put them out there. It's like, oh,
octopus with a fucking skeleton.
it's like a jellyfish. What the fuck?
Snake? Yeah, it's like a snake.
It's really kind of weird where they chose to use like CGI in that way. You know what I mean? Where like some of like the gorier sequences and stuff and things where there's blood, like it does look pretty real. Where like you can't tell if it's fucking CGI or not. But then they
The
do the
bites and
things like
stuff look good.
yeah. But then well, that's probably legit. That's definitely like real blood. Well, not real blood, but you know,
I
state-
fucking hope. That's pretty cool.
But then like they do the thing with like the bat skeletons, and it's like, why the fuck did they think this would like it was unnecessary? Like I don't think you needed
oh,
it.
yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, but that I get it. That's how like they show Deacon Frost getting like his fucking vampire god powers and stuff, which makes him like an uber vampire, even though Blade
He
still
turns into a
fucks-
fucking like tampon monster at the fucking end,
Dude,
and
Blade
then fucking
fucks him up.
explodes, dude.
Now, you know, there's like, I'm sure there's somebody out there that can legitimately do what Blade does to kill him. There's gotta be. But imagine being so fucking confident in your martial arts abilities where you're just like, yeah, I'm going to throw this thing in the air and just kick it at this motherfucker's head with enough force to puncture his
Yes.
skull.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Right?
kick
Like-
this fucking syringe, and it's gonna land perfectly
Yes,
in his
a
fucking
syringe.
face.
That's
The needle side in.
Yeah, look at this shit. He
Yeah.
throws it up and he just like roundhouse kicks it. Boom. Right through his fucking skull.
They teach you that shit at Tiger Showman. Stand my ass
Oh,
up.
dude, those guys fucked.
Patrice O'Neill. Gone too soon. Yeah, so he turns into this
Something
big
like
blob
Resident Evil.
thing. Yeah, it does look like a Resident Evil thing. And he explodes
CGI is
into a
so
bunch
bad.
of goo. That's pretty bad. Yeah, the
I
explosion.
hate that there's no goo on fucking our boy here.
Well, he
They
probably
would have
didn't want
fucking
that
sold
shit.
the scene if there would have been like just some red chunks, like fucking hitting him, like oh, you know.
What's
but
he
it's
j-
just clean. Like, why are you even putting your hands up, you fucking loser? Ain't nothing happening.
What's he say there? Sometimes, there's always motherfuckers that are trying to ice skate uphill or whatever. It's like, damn, Blade.
What
Doom,
the
doom,
fuck
doom,
does
doom,
that
doom,
even
doom,
mean,
doom, doom.
Blade, you cryptic son of a bitch?
I do like that at the end of the movie, you know, it's kind of like, it's not really a post-credit sequence, but it's like at the very tail end, they show like a vampire in Russia, like attacking a woman, and all of a sudden you have fucking Blade stepping out in the snow, like right outside the fucking Kremlin or whatever. And it's
Is that where
like,
Blade 2 picks up in fucking Russia in the snow?
actually, Blade 2 does take place in Russia at some points. Yeah, that's where they first, I think,
Okay,
figure out that
alright.
there's a, or was it Germany?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's either Germany or Russia. I
It's
don't really
Germany.
remember.
I think it's
the
Germany,
techno would probably be Germany.
techno. Yeah.
But I
It's
really
funny.
what?
No, I was gonna say it's funny because you mentioned techno, and then before you guys were like, the soundtrack.
No, I'm more like the score. Like when
Yeah. I feel like the techno fits, but at the same time, I feel like there should have been some Rob Zombie fucking.
this could have
hits going
used a
on,
little
you know?
fucking Max Cavalera fucking.
Like,
You
where
know,
was like
Soulfly.
the actual, or like, dude, Prodigy. Like, Prodigy was
Just
banging this
just
time
something.
period.
Yeah.
I needed
where's some
some-
smack my bitch up in this motherfucker?
I need like
dude?
some
Like,
Meshuggah maybe.
Oh
I
no,
don't
the
know.
stream got suspended.
Did we?
Mike,
Yeah.
Stream's off.
Oh, so be it. So, yeah. Give me your final thoughts about Blade.
Blade was not a fun movie like I thought it was going to be, but you know, it is what it is. I kind of knew from the first few minutes that it probably wasn't going to be everything that I thought it was going to be.
Oh, so sad.
Jerry, what do you think?
I think to his point, I feel like it was one of those like you had to watch it when it came out to kind of have this like me and your like nostalgia for it. Because if I saw this now, I think I'd still enjoy it because I like shitty fucking 90s action movies. But yeah, I like it. I like it for what it was. I think as it goes on, it gets fucking ridiculous like Triple H. But yeah.
I like all these movies. I like all the Blade films. I wish they would have done more, but you know,
Oh, we're back. What?
are we back? Well, that'd be
Why
nice.
are we back? What the hell just happened?
So for the
What?
people listening at home,
Riding the line, motherfuckers.
We're here, bitch.
for the people listening
Why
at
did that
home,
just happen?
the stream got suspended, and then I don't know. We're back. We kept rolling. So
They looked and they're like, all right, all the fucking clips are under 30 seconds. Because I looked into this shit, dude. We should be able to
yeah,
do this.
we're just fucking
Wow,
doing a
that's
critique
strange.
here. We're not. YouTube is. They got our back. It's not like Twitch, man, where they fucking suspended us and we've never gone back.
Hated us.
They banned
But yeah,
you,
I fucking love all the Blade movies. I think these movies are all fucking awesome. I bet if we watched this movie together, we'd have a great time. I would love to watch this with both of you. We'd fucking laugh, I bet, throughout the whole film.
Sure.
I just think there's nothing like this anymore. I feel like these movies,
No.
they don't make them like this. It's a very specific time, even in like the regular horror films, like even the shot on video shit. I feel like this late 90s, early 2000s period
Yeah,
is
like,
just,
Lunatic was the same time period as it was released at the same time period as this.
yeah,
And
it's
that like wild as fuck. But at the same time, Scream is happening and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like so.
it's just a great time for cinema in general. So I think that just about wraps it up. I think
Wait.
what?
I got a question. I got a
What?
question. For
Yeah,
What?
you.
dude, let's hear it, buddy.
Hey, you don't like Blade, but did you like the first Resident Evil movie? It's like the same shit.
See, I almost said yes, but then I had to think about that because it's actually the Silent Hill movies that I enjoy. I think those movies are
Okay.
cool.
Oh,
Resident Evil, I
interesting.
did not get into.
Okay, because I feel like I
It's
know
had to,
Reddit
if it's
has-
like this, then it's probably not for me.
yeah.
I never even played those games, man.
Well, I mean, like you didn't have to whatever to see it, but it was essentially right, Mike, like a female version of Blade.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much just her
Had these
mowing
fucking
through fucking zombies
powers.
and mutants and
Zombies,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Michelle
time period is
Rodriguez.
like Queen of the Damned? When did that fucking drop?
Same-
Is that later? Is that like
90s, late
2000?
Yeah. Well, Leah died in 2001 before 9/11.
Yeah.
So it had to be 2000 or.
You'll never forget that, dude.
I will. Yeah, R.I.P. baby girl.
So yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. You can join us next week. We'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing Vampires Embrace. That's another
Oh, yeah, that's great.
VHS tape that I
Wait,
know
is this
people.
Vampire Month or something?
Yeah, this is Vampire
It
Month,
is.
bro.
Yeah, dude.
Are you
That's-
doing Vampire in Brooklyn or whatever that?
No,
Eddie
we're not
Murphy
doing
movie
fucking
is?
the Eddie Murphy movie. No, we're
You
gonna
wanna
be
come
doing.
back? Well, if you want to come
Yeah.
back, we'll do it.
Are
Yeah.
you doing Are you doing what's the one from like the 90s, the early one? That's like the good one with what's his face?
Interview with a Vampire.
No,
Bram
that
Stoker's
one was-
Dracula.
I got that one. Are you doing that one?
No,
I've never seen that one.
No,
Okay.
we're doing.
Oh, that's a great- I mean,
Interview
Keanu
with the
sucks.
Vampire was
Gary Oldman fucking rules in that.
That
movie.
movie's
Yeah,
fucking.
Gary Oldman's
That is a good
crazy.
movie.
Gary Oldman might be my favorite Dracula of all time, dude.
Really?
You could
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
He's sexy when he's sexy, and he's fucking creepy when he's creepy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
he's
could-
fucking awesome. So, Jerry, where could they find you on the internet?
All right, baby. Go to youtube.com/Jeremy and Jr. I make cartoons. Go watch it. We'll have a good time. Thank you. That's where you- that's where you should go.
Where could they
You can
find you?
me. You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. You can join us every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we record this live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. That's for everybody who's listening at home. You could go to our YouTube page and watch the replay of this. You could see us panic probably and see our future dreams of monetization just go up in dust. But apparently that didn't. Apparently that didn't happen. Apparently we pulled the blade and we came back to life.
That's right.
Right?
that's right.
Now we're the
rejuvenated.
daywalkers. We're the fucking daywalkers now. But like I said,
That's
next week.
insensitive to say around a redhead, I think, dude.
But like I said, next week we're going to be doing Vampires Embrace. Thank you, Jerry, for coming. We love having you on
Yeah,
here.
dude,
We'll
you're the man,
definitely
dude. The
I get
hog,
to-
man.
I'm gonna go suck off a bum.
definitely have you on again. See everybody next week.